Hi everyone, this is Jen again with two N's, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm here today to talk about another Twisted Tale that I read by Liz Braswell in her Twisted Tale series, and this one is Once Upon a Dream. So it is a twisted retelling of Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is one of the Disney movies that I just was not a fan of as a kid. I mean, it was cool and all, but I just wasn't that big of a fan of it, so I didn't have high expectations for this book. But it is definitely one of my favorites that I've read so far. And one of the reviews that I was looking at, somebody had a similar feeling where they said that like they really loved Aladdin as a kid, like I did. And the Whole New World Twisted Tale, they were like, man, it was okay, it was good. But then the other person also wasn't a fan of Sleeping Beauty, and they also really enjoyed this. So I'm just wondering if, like the person was saying in the review that I read, if like you're really tied to a version of a Disney movie that you're going to have higher expectations and wants for like a retelling of it. So you are more judgmental towards it, which could totally be a thing. Cause like I said, I didn't enjoy this movie at all when I was younger, but I loved the book. So for Once Upon a Dream, the story is basically the same in the beginning. You know, there's fighting, Maleficent dooms a baby, blah, blah, blah. So after Prince Philip goes and slays said dragon, he goes up to kiss Aurora to wake her up, because, you know, that's a thing that you do when you're a Disney prince. And instead of waking her up, he actually falls into a deep sleep along with her and joins Sleeping Beauty in her dream world. And in this dream world, Maleficent is still alive. She's not dead, and she is controlling, well, everything, really. I mean, I don't know if Prince Philip knows this or not, but like Maleficent is definitely controlling everything. Aurora's mom and dad aren't present. I can't remember if they were either locked away, or I'm pretty sure that Maleficent told Aurora that the parents were gone, like they left her in Maleficent's care for whatever reason. So it's kind of like, you know how in the movie the three fairies raised Aurora? Well, in this one, Maleficent has made it so that everybody believes that she has raised Aurora, and the parents are gone. But I'm pretty sure the parents have been locked away in the dungeon. And so they're gone out of the picture. And Aurora's, you know, obviously upset about that. Because like, why would my mom and dad leave me? Blah, 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 blah. So that's where Philip goes, and that's what he finds is this. And Maleficent does have control over everything. She controls everything in this dream world because she created it, right? And she has the citizens believing, including Aurora, she has the citizens believing that they can't leave the castle or its premises, because if you go into the woods, it's dangerous and you'll die. So that's where this story is everybody's in this castle, living their daily life in this dream world that nobody knows it's a dream except for Maleficent, because she's controlling things. But also Aurora too has control. Like she's the only person who kind of like remembers things. Like, I mean, she believes Maleficent's telling of things, but she remembers stuff from day to day and everything. She has like some autonomy and control over it because it's her dream, but yeah. So the reason why I really like this particular Twisted Tale, this telling of Sleeping Beauty by Liz, is because I believe that she does a super good job of describing and showing what it's like to live with depression, a major depressive disorder diagnosis. And I just think that as somebody living with depression, I think that she did a fantastic job of showing what that's like and all the different emotions and the thoughts and the feelings that you can have when living with depression. I think that she did a really good job of displaying those through Aurora. So that's also one thing, is that since it's a twisted tale, obviously it's going to be darker than Disney movies. So some of the thoughts that Aurora has are like just some of those darker, like, I just want to sleep, I don't want to do this, there's no point kind of a thing. Not in a, just like some darker thoughts of just wanting to sleep and not wanting to do things kind of a thing is what Aurora has. There's other things that I don't, if I say, I feel like it'll be too much of a spoiler, so I'm not going to. But that's really the reason why I liked this particular telling so much, is because I think she does such a great job of displaying that in a character. So that's why it's one of my favorites that I've read so far in this Twisted Tale series. Another reason why I really like this one is because, you know how like in Disney movies, princesses are always like, ooh, I love you, even though I just met you and we're gonna get married, except for Elsa. Elsa was like, that's stupid. Well, in this one, Aurora too is like not immediately head over heels in love with Prince Philip as soon as they meet. It's kind of like he has to, in a way, woo her again, all over again. Because from what I remember, she doesn't remember necessarily meeting him before. And when he says that we were in love, she's just like, I don't know if I believe that. Who is this person? But even at the end, like at the end of the book, as things are wrapping up, she is more concerned with fixing her kingdom and fixing and working with the people than she is with getting married and moving in with this dude. So I really appreciated that piece of it, is that Aurora wasn't a typical Disney princess where she just drops everything and runs away with a guy. She takes care of her people and does what needs to be done. And Prince Philip is definitely, I think, still like a stereotypical kind of like dorky, not dorky, because I like dorky. He's just kind of like a stereotypical prince in a way. Kinda. He's kind of like a stereotypical Disney prince. So I think that he plays his role pretty close to the Disney movies themselves. But yeah, I mean, I know this was a short kind of talk about the book, but those are just the really big parts that I think that were great, is her description and talking about living with depression without saying that. That's also the thing too, is she didn't ever name that like Aurora was depressed. It's just how she was describing Aurora's behaviors and her thoughts and all those different things. It just really told the story of somebody living with major depressive disorder. So I really, really appreciated that. And then also to her, like not just going for the prince and falling in love. So that's that. And I did give this one 5 out of 5 stars just because I really appreciated those two things that I said very, very much. And a lot of people do make appearances, like the 3 fairies are here just in a different role. But yeah, this book is pretty dark. It definitely is. I feel like if I were comparing it to the other ones that I've talked about so far, I think that this one is the darkest, not because depression is talked about, but because of, I don't know how to say it without giving things away. It's just dark. The events of the story and what happens to folks in this particular book are definitely, I think, darker than the other ones that I've read so far. So that also may be a reason that I like it, is because I tend to like some of those like darker books and stories and everything. So yeah, I think that you should definitely give it a read. If you were a huge fan of Sleeping Beauty as a kid and you loved the Disney movie, I don't know if you'll necessarily like this particular book, but I still think you should give it a chance because it's really, really good. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this quick talk. If you have any thoughts or think that I'm super wrong about something, put it down below in the comments. And then if you want to see pictures of books that I post on a semi-regular basis, you can head over to my Instagram. It's the same name as this channel, read.with.2njen, read with 2njen, and you can see those over there. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.